Hi everyone, this is a video on section 11.5, solving radical equations, and the examples I chose to go over from this section were solving equations by isolating the radical and solving with radical expressions on both sides of the equal sign. So our first example is going to be the square root of p minus 9 is equal to 5. So right away, we want to start by isolating the radical. So we're going to add 9 to both sides. So we're going to get the square root of p is equal to 14. But I know that I can square the square root, which is undoing the property. So the square root will go away. But whatever I do to one side of the equal sign, I have to do the other. So I'm going to square 14. And we know 14 squared is 196. And since we squared the square root, the radical goes away, so we're just left with p. So p equals 196. 2, our equation is 6 is equal to the square root of y minus 2. So once again, I know that I can square the square root, and I am undoing the property, so the radical goes away, but I have to do that to the 6 as well, so I'm going to square the 6. So now we have to square the 6. Our radical goes away, it's y minus 2. 6 squared is equal to 36. And we're simply going to just add 2 to both sides to get 38 is equal to y. Our third example is dealing with radical expressions on both sides of the equal sign. So you can see a common trend, but we're going to square both of these radical expressions to undo the property of the square root. So we're going to be left with 3n plus 12 on the left and n plus 8 on the right. And this just simply goes back to order of operations. We're going to subtract n from both sides, and we'll get 2n on the left plus 12 is equal to 8. Subtract 12 from both sides. So we'll be left with 2n is equal to negative 4. Divide by 2 on both sides. And our final answer we'll get is n is equal to negative 2. Our next example, number 4. Once again, we have radical expressions on both sides of the equal sign, so you guessed it, we're going to square both sides so that we can undo the radical. So the radical disappears and we're left with 5w plus 3 on the left and 4w plus 5 on the right. So now we're going to just subtract 4w, which will give us just w plus 3 is equal to 5. And we're going to subtract 3 from both sides to get w, excuse me, sorry, this is supposed to be subtract 3 from both sides. I got ahead of myself. 5 minus 3 equals 2, so w is equal to 2. Our last example, example 5, we have the square root of 3x plus 4 is equal to negative 5. Right away, we should be starting to get in the habit. We see that there is a radical expression. So to undo the square root, we're going to square, but we have to square both sides. So this is going to undo the property, which will give us 3x plus 4 on the left, and we know that negative 5 squared will give us 25. And then we're just simply going to subtract 4 from both sides. 3x is equal to 21, and we'll divide by 3, which will give us x is equal to 7. I hope this was helpful, and in case you guys need extra practice, go back to the Big Green Book 11.5 exercises. Always remember you can go back to the examples from class, and I also wanted everyone to know that I am available period 9 and 10. Just let me know ahead of time so that I can meet you in the library and I can quiz you, tutor you, help you, whatever you need, and good luck.